I thought it would be a good idea to make a little feedback video for the class on the Web Technologies assessment that you've just completed. So if you remember that you got your main individual feedback when we actually did the demo, so I made some comments and had a chat about your website with you at that point. If you were perhaps a little bit stressed and can't quite remember what I said, then if you have a look on Blackboard on Turnitin, you should find a summary audio recording of the main feedback points. So have a little look on there and see if you can find that. And so this is kind of the final part of the feedback loop. So this is to the class as a whole. I think what I want to say is that you produced an amazing piece of work as a student body. So, you know, there were some great websites here. And I think that I was really pleased with the quality of work that the cohort as a whole produced, so everybody together. And I think that falls into two parts really. So there's the people who are natural programmers, who are natural web designers. So you know who you are, you produced great work, you scored 70+%, maybe 80 or even 90% in this. And at the top of that scheme, there are people who are already operating as though you are professional web designers, and you've got a great balance of graphical design or visual design skills with technical, functional PHP and database programming capability. So you could easily get a job in web design if that was what you wanted to do, and you should seriously think about whether it will be a good idea to do a web project in the final year as your dissertation project. And I'm happy to have a chat with you about that if that will be useful to you. Okay, so those people have done really well. There's another, I think, quite a big group of people who find web quite difficult. So you're not a natural programmer, it's maybe not something you're that interested in, something that you struggle with a little bit. And for most of those people, for most of you in that category, I was really pleased that you showed a level of maturity, a level of determination, a level of understanding of what you have to do on the course. So you have to do things even if maybe you don't like them that much. And you worked really well and really hard to produce a good assignment. So you might not have got a first class mark, you know, you might have got 40, 50 or 60%, but you achieve your potential, and that's fantastic. So I was really pleased with those people as well. So I think that, you know, if I look at the characteristics of a great assignment and what, you know, what feedback is from, we can take from that to move forward to other pieces of assessed work, I think that the characteristics really of the people who did well were good time planning. So those people tended to start quite early on the assessment. They tended to understand and have read carefully the assessment criteria. So they understood what they were targeting. They worked through the class exercises quite early and understood how to take those exercises, so those working pieces of code, and move them into an assignment, configure them for your assignment so that, you know, it looked like part of your radio show, but it worked quite nicely, you know, so you managed to port things across to your assignment work quite easily. So it's all about, I think, timing and organisation. I think perhaps some of the people who struggled a little bit fell into the YouTube trap, which is perhaps leave things to quite late on, then have a look on YouTube, sort of almost ignore what we've done in the workshops and in the classes, and, you know, get a tutorial, try and get that tutorial working on your piece of project, on your assignment project. And I think that often people struggle with that because the YouTube stuff the tutorial operates in maybe a slightly different way, maybe it's slightly more complicated than the things that we're doing. And I think that, you know, you can find, if it doesn't work straight away, you can find it hard to get it working. And I think some people fell into that trap. I think the other thing that people who did well did is they've been to the lectures and understood how to take some material from the lectures into the assignment. So many people just did the assignment based on the workshop material. The people who did really well, I think, did things like remembered about prototyping and wireframes, which we talked about, remember some stuff about layout and what makes a good layout, what makes a good website in terms of content, and remember some stuff about Google Analytics and search engine optimization. So those kind of things that we covered in lectures but not workshops, people who scored a great mark thought about those things and brought them into assignment. So perhaps think about this in future. If you have practical work plus lectures, it is important to remember what's going on in the lectures and pull that lecture work into your assignment. So I think the only other thing that I really want to say is positive mental attitude. So when you do your demo, it's really important that you present your work positively, that it's a great, it's a great piece of work that you've done. You want to highlight the good part. Quite a number of people are still starting these demos with a sort of an apology, saying, "Oh, I didn't quite manage to get this working. This isn't so good. I was a bit disappointed about this." Don't go there. Basically, start with the positives. Talk about all the good things about your assessment, and let the assessor, me in this case, work out the bits that aren't working. You don't have to point those out. So concentrate on the good bits. I'm not saying lie, but I'm saying concentrate on the good bits and generate a positive vibe at your demonstration. It's really important both for assessments and also for things when you're going for interviews or when you're just talking to a potential contact, when you're networking with people, when you're showing them your work and stuff. Positive mental attitude, generate a positive vibe around your work. Okay, so I think, what I would say is this is the end of my teaching of you. So I taught you web design in year 1 and web technologies in semester 1 of year 2. Nigel will be taking over the web technologies module to do the computer networking element in semester 2 with the exam at the end. So I won't be teaching you anymore. I'll still be your program leader. So if you've got any problems or you want to chat to me or just say hello, drop me an email and I'll have a chat with you, help you out with any issues that you have, all the usual program leader stuff. But I just wanted to say it's been an absolute pleasure teaching everyone, and I just wish you every success for the rest of this year. Please make sure you get a great mark across all of the modules because it's now counting towards your final degree classification. So do well in semester 2 and score a great degree. Okay, thanks very much.